Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It is Wacky and Weird Wednesday today. We got all those weird stories about animals and people doing stuff and giving us our youthful imagination back. That's what they're doing. Remember when things are all crazy and new? That's still happening every day. This is the first and only international game show, Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where we look up our stories right before the show starts. We just got caffeine in our bodies and we learn to read and speak live on stream. Let's get into those wacky headlines and spin that segue wheel. Today on Wacky and Weird Wednesday. Surrey's Ugly Potato Day breaks Guinness World Record. Swarm of jellyfish shut down nuclear reactors at power plant after clogging the pumps. I think this is the third time this has happened in my life.
A 10-year-old Japanese student is discovered that butterflies can remember their time as a caterpillar, and a man accidentally falls into a potty. Tell you, man. It was a bad
in UK politics news, when is the Clacton by-election and who is standing in Nigel Farage's showdown with Count Binface?
Oh boy, my screen just went blank again. 2023 helicopter through 90 miniature forests onto swampland to get rid of native invasive grasses. We'll see what happened. And plus, we have the weird story of Brazilian capybara disrupting local legislature.
In my culture news, why is the internet accusing Anne Hathaway of wearing a fake pregnant belly? Why would you do that?
Oh, wow. I have no idea. Why would they do that to Shakespeare's wife? And it's National Middle Child Day. Stand up and take a bow. It is August 12th, 2026 on Before Coffee.
Finally, a day for me, the forgotten child. Just kidding.
Who are you?
I don't feel forgotten.
Contact me.
Who am I?
Hey,
right.
Don't complain about being the middle child. Try being the youngest of 12 and then complain, all right? Try that once. Try that. Just give it a shot. See what you like about that.
Anyways, let's roll our segue wheel. It's not the Paint Olympics. This isn't a competition on who had the worst life. Okay?
What's that kid's name again?
I will lose. Who has the worst life?
Yeah, the old timey.
Our first segue, I should say, is a mixed metaphor.
All right.
And my first story is coming out of Surrey. Surrey. Yes, Surrey. This is from Anna Burns, Surrey now leader on the Northern Sentinel. Surrey's Ugly Potato Day by Odd Bunch has broken the Guinness World Record for the largest donation of fruits and vegetables in 24 hours by giving away 246,528.61 kilograms, which is about 501,501 pounds of produce. Tyler Heppel started the event in 2022, with 12 people coming out to his family's South Surrey farm to pick up free ugly produce that would otherwise be thrown away. Which is such a waste, right? Because it's ugly. And tell me pretty privilege doesn't exist. There's potatoes out there that never got to be eaten because they were ugly. From there, it has grown over 30,000 people attending this year's world record-setting event at Cloverdale's Agriplex in Surrey. Heppel said he felt euphoric as he looked around at all the people at the Agriplex. This was the hardest week of my absolute life. It stretched me in ways I've never been stretched before. And just this last hour, where we were given the Guinness World Record, had Tony Robbins come out and be here and experience it. I'm euphoric right now.
Oh,
he said, this is the fruits of my labor right here. 1,000 volunteer hours, not just mine, have gone into this. And to be here now, right now, I feel like I'm floating on a cloud. That's my really bad northern accent. I apologize to everyone. After weighing all the pallets and confirming the new record had been set, the adjudicator from the Guinness World Records presented Heppel, Divya Ojha, the founder of Odd Bunch, and Evan Ehrlers, the founder of Sharing Excess, and motivational speaker Tony Robbins. The record was previously held by Sacramento Convection and Visitors Bureau in Sacramento, California, which donated 225,064.2 kilograms or 493,977 pounds on September 7th, 2016. So this is a 10-year victory, I guess. Robbins, who is a well-known motivational speaker, said he was moved by the potato event.
Okay. Right.
It's just potatoes.
Gotcha. Right, I thought so. That seems like a lot of potato. Go ahead, sorry.
Said he was moved. Yeah, it's a lot. It's almost it's a half a mil pounds, almost half a mil pounds. But this one actually broke the mil, half the mil. Yeah, it's almost 600,000 pounds. Mm-hmm. Robbins was moved by the event and expressed his gratitude to volunteers and farmers who helped make it possible. If you're receiving, I hope you receive the love that's been put into the food because somebody's donating that's not for anything but for your well-being, and they love you, he said. Oh, what a nice message to share it. This is almost like a good Newsday story. Heppel said he's proud of the work he and many others have done to make this event possible every year. But what it really comes down to is being kind to people. I think that's what this day is about. The small things compound. It doesn't matter if you have millions of followers online or 30,000 people coming out to your event, or if you're just impacting one person's life. It's all the same, he said. Yes. On Saturday morning, which would have been the 9th? The 10th? The 9th of August. Rows and rows of bins full of fruits and vegetables such as ugly potatoes, cabbage, carrots, and tomatoes lined the floor of the Cloverdale Agriplex, ready to be picked up and taken home. People were initially limited to filling 2 bags each. 25 farms donated the produce for the event, 70% of which came locally, including Tyler's dad and Heppel's Potato Corps, which donated over 200,000 pounds of potatoes alone. The rest of the produce came from farmers in Arizona. Anything left over will be donated to local food banks. Heppel often encouraged people on his social media accounts to buy local produce, which helps support local farmers. Us local farmers want to support our community because we know that our community is in a hard time. Our farms have been around for 100 years. Our community has supported us, he said. And now that our community is in a hard time, we want to support them. But for us local farmers to be around, people need to support locals. People need to buy BC products because everyone else is trying to ship into our market, really hurting our farmers. And that's why it's so important to buy BC. Heppel was extremely grateful to Odd Bunch, which was the headline sponsor for the event, for the past 2 years. Pre-registration had required the free events to ensure that day ran smoothly. Attendees had to select from one of the several time slots. Heppel said they would like to take back the Surrey again, but they need a bigger venue as the event keeps growing. Surrey Mayor Brenda Locke attended the event alongside City Councillors Rob Stutt, Harry Baines, and Pardeep Kunar. Lovely names. It's certainly a great gift to see so many people, and you can see 1,000s of 1,000 of people literally are here to get the produce that they say is ugly, and I think it looks pretty damn good, Locke said. There's your weird story.
Right.
About, honestly, the weirdness of our society, you know? Oh, we can't sell this on market because it's ugly. Like, humans are so conceited sometimes. Not to be negative, but...
Right. And my mix metaphor. I put this in the metaphor mixer. Hey, he's no couch potato. And this accomplishment is no small potatoes as they mash the former record.
Hey!
Right on.
Got those... Gotta get that mash.
Right. Mash. Not the TV show.
Okay. My next story. More weird news. Swarm of jellyfish shut down a nuclear reactor. I think this has been the 3rd time this has happened in my life. This is from Maria Butt on The Independent. I'm sure it's happened many, many times before. A swarm of jellyfish forced a shutdown of a nuclear reactor at Western Europe's largest nuclear power station after clogging the pumps. They really should, figure out a solution to this. The Gravelines plant in northern France was left with only one of its 6 reactors operating at full capacity after the marine life disrupting cooling units on Monday, which was the 10th of August? No. Yes, the 10th of August, EDF said. Images from the scene show groups of bright blue jellyfish in the waters around the plant, which then appear to have been sucked into the pumps. EDF said that around 100 kilograms of jellyfish arrived like it was delivered, like a truck just came by and just let them all out into the plant. 100 kilograms of jellyfish arrived Saturday, increasing to an influx of several tons by Monday. That would have been the 8th of August. So from the 8th to the 10th of August, just tons and tons of jellyfish filled that nuclear power plant. 3 of the 6 900 megawatt reactors were taken offline completely, while a 4th had its output slashed by half. Another was taken offline for maintenance, leaving only one functioning. And yeah, there's a picture of the beach, and there's just a bunch of blue jellyfish just stranded on the beach. This time last year, exactly the same thing happened. Yes, I remember covering it, when the power station was overwhelmed by jellyfish, leaving operations at the facility disrupted for 2 days. This situation has no impact on the safety of the facilities, the safety of our personnel, or the environment, EDF said in the statement on the latest event. Oh, there's a bunch of dead jellyfish. Kind of affects the environment a little bit, don't you think? One on-site team fully mobilized to ensure the safety of the facility and to reconnect the reactors to national power grids. Fishing vessels are now taking part in preventative fishing operations on a 24-hour basis, with 3 fishing boats constantly patrolling off the coast of the plant. The operation involves the jellyfish being caught by trawlers and then released offshore. Teams have also increased the frequency of cleaning the equipment at the pumping stations, according to EDF. The precise species of jellyfish has not been confirmed, but it is blue. Kinda looks like a actual jelly, like some blue jelly. EDF has attempted to preempt an attack following preempted attack. A jellyfish attack! The freaking wording they use in this article is great. Yeah.
Swim for your lives! Sorry.
They attempted to preempt an attack following last year's incident by installing cameras and having fishing boats patrol the area. Last year, 4 reactors were shut down temporarily after a storm of creatures swam into the cooling system. The shutdown was automatic and delays were forecast for days after the event. It comes as French and Spanish beachgoers were warned this week over sightings of jellyfish-like creature with a sting that can cause painful skin burns. The Portuguese man-o'-war, Thessalia physalis, is not a jellyfish just by its uncanny similarity to the marine animal. It is in fact a colonial hydrozoan made of smaller creatures called zooids that each have their own functions such as feeding or breeding and are unable to survive alone. They are described as large translucent purple floats, the crest tipped with pink and long bluish-violet tentacles by the UK's Wildlife Trust. Experts say that the rising sea temperatures are creating favorable conditions for jellyfish, making swarms along the coast increasingly common. So, another climate change symptom, I suppose. Jellyfish swarming your nuclear reactor. Come on, jellyfish, we're trying to save the environment here. Stop going in our nuclear reactor. There's your story.
I'm trying to... Hold on a second, I got to copy and paste this story that I'm going to read because every time I try to scroll, it disappears from my screen. So I'm putting it on a Google document because I can't get a reading pane. All right, hopefully that worked. My metaphor mixer has worked here. Jellyfish have no spine, and soon it's just a matter of time as the Republican Party recruits them to run for Congress. Because we want spineless jellyfish just around. Tell me what to do, Daddy. Tell me what to do. You know? Sorry about that. You fools! Fools! Okay, so we're going to try to love this story.
All right. Let's do... what should we do?
I tried to copy and copy the link. That makes no sense to me.
Our next segue.
All right, okay. We'll try to do this story and hope it doesn't disappear while I'm reading it. But it just keeps doing it as I scroll. I have no idea why it's doing that. Since nothing's
next
working on my
segue
computer
is
this morning. at
alliteration
all,
headline.
anything I do, it just said, hey, I'm not doing that. That's in my commercial. Alliteration. All right. Alliteration headline about a helicopter thingy. I gotta wait for my computer to stop doing what it's doing right now. Okay, I think it finished. In 2023, helicopters is from Times of India, which I'm going to stop using as a source because they don't want to put a reading pane selection up for their stories. I have no idea why they do that, but hey, whatever. So it's going to be difficult to read. Hopefully it doesn't disappear on me. Imagine a helicopter. This is from India Times. Doesn't have the person's name on it. In 2023, a helicopter flew 90 miniature forest islands in a Washington swamp, testing whether 450 living plants could defeat invasive gas. So I guess it's 90 islands with 5 plants on them each, like with trees and bushes on them. Let's stick to the story. Imagine a helicopter flying over a swamp and dropping down a wooden pallet with soil, a baby tree, and 4 shrubs on it, like a tiny floating forest. In 2023, that's what happened in Washington State in a conference abstract presented at the 2025 meeting of the National Association of Wetland Managers. Michelle Barrick of the Tulalip tribes described how the team used the helicopter to drop in 90 pallets of pre-planted vegetables into wetland too dangerous and wet for crews to walk into. The goal was too simple: to give native plants a fighting chance against the persistent invasive grass that had been choking Pacific Northwest wetlands for decades. Reed canary grass, or Phalaris abundanticius, is a fast-spreading perennial that forms dense mass over wetlands. It blocks sunlight, crowds out native plants, and destroys habitat that fish and birds need. A peer-reviewed study of wetlands ecology and management found that once reed canary grass takes over, it decreases native plant diversity, flattens the height and structure of the wetland canopy, and changes the soil beneath it, lowering organic content while making it wetter. In plain terms, it turns rich, messy, life-filled wetlands into flat green carpet with almost nothing else living in it. The researchers compared reed canary grass dominated plots with native vegetation plots in urban freshwater wetlands of Portland, Oregon, and found that the arthropod communities shifted to with significant lower diversity and reed in these invasive grass stands. And the authorities say vegetation structure, soil conditions were stronger predictions than the grass's abundant itself. The grass can be especially harmful near streams used by coho salmon, a fish important to tribal food and culture and regional economy. Young salmon need shade, cover, and food in the small channels that can go blocked by dense and reed canary grass. All right, so canary grass. Reed canary grass isn't just aggressive above the ground. It spreads through the dense network of underground rhizomes, root-like stems that can regenerate an entire plant from even a small fragment left behind, which is part of why hand-pulling or shallow digging rarely eliminates for good. It also produces enormous numbers of seeds that can remain viable in wetland soil for years. So a plot that looks clear for one season can resprout from a dormant seed bank the next. Combined with its tolerance for both flooded and dry conditions, traits that let it sounds like a wonder crop, doesn't it? Hey, let's learn to eat this stuff.
Probably why they added it in. They're like, oh, this is a great crop. We didn't think about the
it's undefeated.
We didn't think about the repercussions of an undefeated crop.
Well, let's talk about how we're going to solve this. As detailed in the same NAW abstract, the national something about the forests in Washington, the Tulalip tribes built 120 wooden shipping pallets, each filled with burlap sheets, wetland appropriate soil, degradable planting stakes, and manila rope. In the abstract species, that each pallet was planted with 1 native tree and 4 native shrubs, 5 young plants per pallet. Northwest Treaty Tribes says the pallets were pre-planted in the Wallace Creek Hatchery, part of the Washington Department's Fish and Wildlife, so species such as This Sitka spruce and western red cedar could take root, and ropes were then used to attach each pallet to the helicopter hook for the flight. Per the same NAWM abstract, the crew successfully installed about 90 of these pallets across the 50 by 80-foot plots on October 12th, 2023, with 5 plants on each of those 5 pallets. That works out about 450 living plants dropped straight onto the problem. What gives the project credibility is that the tribe didn't just test one idea. The team also planted 350 willow live stakes in each of the 3 different comparison plots for a total of 1,050 stakes, using an older, proven restoration method according to the NAWM's abstract. 3 more plots were left unplanted as controls before any planting took place. The plant cover of each plot was assessed during a standard technique, and so forth and so on. So the plants are... Final results are still years away, according to the team's monitoring plan, but the image along the helicopter gently dropping mini forests in a swamp is a reminder that fixing nature sometimes means borrowing a tool from the sky. So we don't know if this is actually going to work, but they're trying something. It's still a weird story. That's why it's not necessarily a good story. There's the headline to read about dropping trees onto a swamp.
Aerial apples annihilate aggressive grass.
Apples, eh? Hello, soundboard. Where you at?
The apples can turn into trees.
Yeah, sure. Apple trees. Where the hell's the soundboard? The soundboard doesn't work. I click on it, nothing happens. I open soundboard. There it is. Aha! Wow! Wow! Jeez, what a day! Nothing worked. You're laughing your ass off. I don't even want your
I'm laughing because you yelling won't solve it. Next story.
I just say, why is... No, my next story, this is a short one. This poor bastard. We don't know his name, but oh well. This is from UPI, uexpress.com, the editors. Actually, the editors at the Andrews McKeel syndication, it says. Anyway, this is a short one. In his quest to retrieve a bottle of Mountain Dew, a Kansas City, Missouri man fell into a portable restroom toilet tank and was stuck there for 8 hours with the lid closed before he being rescued. According to Fox 4 News, on July 14th, a driver with the Patriot portable restrooms was trying to collect the structures that had been set up for a World Cup watch party. When he encountered the trapped occupant, the driver flagged down a nearby police officer to help him unlock the door. When he opened the door, he didn't see anybody. We honestly thought we were talking to a ghost. Who's talking? It's a shit, man. And then he opened his head popped out of the tank like a game of whack-a-mole, or Oscar the Grouch coming out of his can. That's kind of... I'm funny. A company representative said KCFD had to cut the man out of the toilet and then blasted him with a fire hose to rinse him off. In the portable restroom business, you kind of expect the unexpected, the representative said. But in 6 years, I never thought I'd find someone alive inside of one of our units.
Only somebody dead, huh? Specifically, not somebody alive.
There was another story I didn't read today, but there was a story about somebody finding a dead body and one of the clothes donation page. Oh,
great. Thanks for the donation. Yeah.
Yeah, dead body. Yeah, they used his clothes. No, I'm just kidding. The clothes were disgusting like that. Yeah, that was your story. Let's have a headline. Should read. Hopefully my soundboard is actually... There it is.
Fearless fetcher falls found floundering in a foul facility. Okay. Foul indeed. All right, let's roll our next segue. Hi, Nicole. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're having a good afternoon. What is on our segue today? It's a haiku. For my first story, or my next story, I should say. My next story, my only story, is about Tommy's favorite politician, Count Baneface. This is from Mariam Zakir Hussein on The Independent. Nigel Farage's by-election in Clacton is set to be boycotted by most major parties after the Reform UK leader was accused of using the vote as a distraction. The Reform UK leader announced he was quitting as an MP as questions mounted over his personal finances. The Labour Party, the Tories, Liberal Democrats, Greens, and Restore Britain have all said they will not stand candidates in the by-election, leaving independent candidates and Count Baneface to contest the vote. Mr. Farage was already being investigated by the Common Standard watchdog over an undeclared £15 million gift from a Reform donor, Christopher Harborne, before he entered Parliament. And he appeared to confirm he faced another probe over security for him funded by convicted fraudster George Cottrell. This is the guy that Reform people are supporting. Somebody actually being funded by, what do you call him? The fraudsters.
Putin?
He's convicted fraudster. Lib Dem leader Sir Ed Davey called for the government to block Mr. Farage's resignation until the Standards Commissioner finishes investigating him. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch said, "We will not be standing a candidate in the fake by-election that Farage is causing to distract people from what is happening. We need to let the investigation run its course." The Clacton by-election shouldn't be happening, Home Security Yvette Cooper said. She described it as Mr. Farage's political tantrum. The by-election triggered by Nigel Farage's decision to quit as an MP and fight to reclaim his seat will be held on the 13th of August, which is tomorrow, Thursday. Reform had originally hoped the vote would be held on the 6th of August, but Tendering District Council announced the date would be a week later. Potential candidates can submit their nomination from the 14th to 17th of July. Well, they already did that. So it's too late now. And Essex constituency not already on the electoral register have until the 20th of July to apply for a vote. Acting Returning Officer Ian Davidson said, "The electoral timetable is set out by law, and so we are bound by these dates. If residents want to have their democratic say, then they must be registered, and so anyone who wants to vote in their coming by-election should make sure they can be registering in time. You can register to vote online, or you can contact our team, who will be happy to help you. I would also encourage people to check now that they have a valid ID to enable them to vote at a polling station, and if they do not, then to apply for the free Alternative Voter Authority certificate. We want to make sure that everyone is still able to cast their vote next month." That's what they said last month anyways. Who's actually standing in this by-election? Count Baneface. This satirical party is it satire at this point? I don't know anymore. This satirical party is a creation of comedian Jonathan David Harvey. As Baneface, Mr. Harvey stood as a candidate in the Uxbridge and South Ruislip constituency at the 2019 general election, again against the then Prime Minister Boris Johnson, and again at 2023 by-election and followed Johnson's resignation. He also stood in the London mayoral election at 2021 and 24 and stood against Rishi Sunak in his Richmond and North Allerton constituency in 24 general election. Now he will be standing against Mr. Farage. He wrote on Twitter, "Labour, Tories, Lib Dems and Greens, I demand you stand down in Clacton. I will be a unity candidate and pledge to build at least one affordable house." Nigel Farage says he wants the people versus the establishment. So be it. Leave him to me. And now I want you to imagine somebody with a like a medium-sized trash bin. It's a little bigger than like a small one, right? And it's on their head. And then they have a visor so they can see through the trash bin. And that's exactly what Count Baneface looks like. If you've not seen him, you're missing out. That's all I have to say. Kind of looks like a fucked up clone trooper. Hello, Amlin. Thank you for finding the missing acorn.
All right.
Lawrence Fox, the Reclaim Party, was set up by Lawrence Fox in October of 2020, following an appearance on the BBC's Question Time earlier this year, which the actor said resulted on him being cancelled from a 21-year acting career. According to his website, the party exists to challenge woke orthodoxy. Okay, well, you deserve to be cancelled because you use the word woke. And promote freedom of speech, which views as being under grave peril. Reclaim has been dubbed the UKIP for culture and is strongly associated with culture wars. So, yeah, yet again, a piece of shit party, really. My career got cancelled because I'm an asshole. Fox announced on Twitter that he intends to stand in the Clacton by-election, saying, "We're coming because we respect the voters of Clacton and also to elevate the fight on the right." The Rejoin EU Party was also founded in 2020. In May 21, the party received 100,000 votes in the London mayoral election. Richard Morley is the current leader of the party. The satirical group, so Rejoin EU is also joining in on the vote. And another person joining is Monster Raving Loony Party. The satirical group, known for its nonsensical policies, said it would take on Mr. Farage. The group was formed in 1982 by co-founders Screaming Lord Such and current leader Howling Loud Hope. In a post online, the party said, "All preparations are now being made for the Clacton by-election." The party stood in the Markfield election with a manifesto comprising pledges such as helping with the cost of living by removing VAT because it adds no value, and allowing every UK voter to be Prime Minister for 15 minutes in their lifetime. What great things to vote for! Piers Corbyn announced he is standing in the Clacton by-election in a declaration speech on Parliament Square, which was filmed and posted online. "The nearest thing to a general election is the by-election. Happening now in Clacton," he said. "This gives us the chance to raise issues which we couldn't otherwise raise." Mr. Corbyn, Jeremy Corbyn's older brother, said he will be standing to win. Adam Al-Khatib, Forward Party leader, will be running against Nigel Farage, he has announced. Mr. Al-Khatib announced in his candidacy on TikTok, saying he will run as an anti-corruption, pro-worker platform. Rob Pono, wildlife campaigner Rob Pono, said he intends to stand in the Clacton by-election. Keen observers may remember Mr. Pono from recent Markerfield by-election, where he dressed as a fox and held a sign saying "Protect British Wildlife." There we go, that's who Tommy should vote for. Kai Stevens is running for the British Democrats. The party was formed as a splinter of the far-right British National Party, BNP, in 2011 and officially launched in 2013. Luke Worley, former Married at First Sight contestant, has announced he'll run as an independent candidate. In social media posts, he said he wants to improve Clacton's roads and High Street and support independent businesses. Kent County Councillor and clairvoyant Amelia Randall is running for Balance Britain Party, which she founded. She was elected as a Reform councillor in Thanet before leaving the party last year for unknown reasons. Maybe she saw a vision in the future that she should not join. Local father and television professional Ollie Granger is seeking the nominations to enter the race, according to media reports. He told the Clacton Gazette his campaign prioritizes including tackling crime, creating jobs, backing farmers, and investing in tourism. So, there are your eligible votes, I guess, in the by-election if you happen to live in Clacton. And good luck to everyone, I guess, except for the people I don't like. As always with politics. That story should have been long enough for a haiku.
Yes, I wrote my haiku a while back, and I just wanted to... what was the name of this party now? Binface? What the hell?
I don't know what the name of his party is. It's just Count Binface is the...
Oh, Binface! That reminded me of... Yeah. You might remember this story. There was a... UK had a contest to name their new research submarine, and some guy hijacked the contest, and the submarine got named Bodie McBoatface. That was the winner. Bodie McBoatface.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
Reminded me of. Anyway, I sent you a video about that. My haiku says. Why don't you turn into my haiku yet? My haiku says, political bribes. It makes the world go around. Well, that and blackmail. And we started about bribes. We started talking about bribes.
Yes. Two bribes. Okay. Our next segue. is gonna be... Hey, I got a limerick! Alright, take it away. You're muted again. Did you just mute yourself? By accident? There you are.
Oh, okay. I must have. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. What the hell? I just slid my mouse and accidentally did it, I guess. Let's do this again. This is from the Times of India. No person's name, I guess, on this one. Uh-oh. There we go. There we go. Don't scroll. If you start scrolling, the screen goes away. Well, let's get the glasses on because I had it big type and then I started scrolling and then it went away and came back a small type. So here we go. This ought to be an adventure. Hello. Can we scroll at all? Okay, there we go. No, we can't. We can't scroll at all. We can't. We cannot. I'm just gonna read the headline and move on with my life. How's that sound? Joe Nagai is a 10-year-old student at Buki East Elementary School in Kobe, Japan. He's also a scholar at the Son Masayoshi Philanthropic Foundation, which supports exceptionally talented young people across the country. Passionate about insects since early childhood, Joe has reportedly filed hundreds of handwritten pages with observations of insect behavior. That's what you do when you're a genius. You just use that genius thing and you just keep going. Let's get this is from the Times of India World Desk. A 10-year-old student has captured worldwide attention after his fascination with butterflies led to a remarkable scientific study that is changing the long-held assumptions about insect memory. Joe Nagai, Nagai, AI at the end of his name, that's interesting. An elementary school student from Kobe spent years carefully observing the Asian swallowtail butterflies he raised at home. His curiosity was sparked when he noticed that the butterflies appeared to recognize him even after undergoing metamorphosis from caterpillars. I don't see why they wouldn't. Their brains don't disappear, do they?
Yeah, they just turn into goo in the cocoon. That's probably why.
Yeah, their brains stay intact. Determined to understand whether memories from formed during the caterpillar stage could survive the dramatic transformation, Joe designed a series of experiments that have been presented before professional scientists, generating discussions about animal cognition, metamorphosis, and inherited behavior. While some of the findings still require independent verification, his work has made him one of the youngest researchers to gain international recognition. His story has also inspired education and researchers by showing how careful observation, patience, curiosity can contribute to meaningful scientific inquiry. Regardless of age, encouraging more young students to explore nature through hands-on experiments and critical thinking. If validated through further studies, findings could reshape long-standing assumptions about insect biology, proving that groundbreaking scientific questions can emerge from patient childhood curiosity just as readily from formal academic training or professional research settings. Joel's observation raised a particularly intriguing question about metamorphosis, whether the nervous system can preserve information while the body undergoes such extensive biological change. His experiments, my nose is itchy. About to sneeze.
Same.
You don't want all over your microphone lens. I mean your camera lens or your microphone lens. I don't have one of those, but his experiments suggest that some learned associations may persist beyond the caterpillar stage, adding to a growing evidence that insect behavior can be more sophisticated than traditionally assumed. We humans think we got it all figured out, and then we find out, hey, animals can actually think. I just weird how we think animals don't have any cognitive ability. It's crazy, right? Joe Nagai is a 10-year-old student at Obukia. I already did that part. We did that part. We did his biography. Despite growing international recognition for his butterfly research, he says his long-term ambition is to become a veterinarian. So what's wrong with that? Reflecting his lifelong for animals and nature. He's remarkable dedication. No, he needs to go study butterflies for 1,000 years and accomplish nothing. Right? No, be a veterinarian. He's already done doing his research. Let's lock him in a lab and make him a research guy. Fuck that, man. Go do what you want, kid. Anyway, His remarkable dedication at such a young age shows how sustained curiosity and careful observation, childhood fascination mingles scientific research with the potential to inspire future generations. The observation that started Joe Nagal's butterfly research. Joe's research did not begin in a laboratory as part of a school assignment. Instead, it started with a simple observation while raising Asian swallowtail butterflies, which if that's your hobby, you're already a nerd. You're already the nerdiest nerd of the nerd.
Don't think he was worried about that part.
I'm just saying, if your hobby is raising butterflies and you're under 10, nerddom has started for you a while back. The unusual behavior led to the wonder whether butterflies can retain memories formed during the caterpillar stage despite undergoing complete metamorphosis. Motivated by that question, he spent several years documenting their behavior and developing carefully planned experiments. Brilliant child. Make him president. I'm just saying. Joe's work has attracted considerable interest because it allows the emerging field of research exploring how insect memories survive metamorphosis. His study has been presented at scientific meetings, including the International Congress of Entomology in Kobe, famous for the Kobe beef, right? Where professional entomologists reviewed his findings. Although the research has generated significant discussion within the scientific community, has not been published in a peer-reviewed scientific journal. Experts regard his work as an impressive contribution from our young researcher, while noting that replication by independent scientists will be essential. Hey, can you duplicate this experiment for this young man? Yes, you can. It seems like it's easy enough to duplicate. He can do it just from his home. I think scientists can work on this and figure it out. There's your story about butterflies. And the butterfly effect. The butterfly effect. I'm sure you have a limerick by now. But maybe not. I can go on to the next story.
A caterpillar once small and slow dreamed of wings with a colorful glow. Through silky cocoon, in a spring's gentle tune, it soared where bright flower petals blow. There you go. Little story about the caterpillar that I was studying, the swallowtail.
Okay, shorter story, and it's not about. It's about capybaras. We're talking about animals. AP News has a story. Brazilian capybaras enter chambers of the local legislature. This is a shorter one, it says here. So I will read it slowly. What the capybara? Do you know what a capybara is? Everybody know it looks like a little miniature horse with a lot of hair.
No, it looks like a miniature guinea pig.
Yeah, it's like a big.
That's what it looks like. I'm sorry, not a miniature. It looks like a dog-sized guinea pig. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it's
a rodent. It's a giant rodent.
Big, gigantic, huge Brazilian rodent. This is from Suaba, Brazil. No person's name on it. One Brazilian state legislature has increasingly found its voting sessions invaded by a group of unexpected visitors. Capybaras, yes, the notoriously chill rodents, strolled through the front door of the local legislature building in Cuiabá, in the central Brazilian state of Mato Grosso, and surprised lawmakers who were preparing for a vote last week. The building sits next to a park filled with wildlife. Staffer Nayara Bueno filmed the unexpected visit of the rodents that are named in South America on July 30 and tried to lead the mammals to turn around and head back to the park. Maybe I'll find that video and send you that one, because the other video I sent wasn't like, right? They show up here quite often, so we've gotten used to seeing them. Capybaras have surged in political and global popularity online due to their remarkably calm demeanor and high social nature. As semi-aquatic animals, they thrive near rivers, lakes, wetlands, and often live in groups and growing and weighing up to 175 pounds, which is human size for sure, or 8 grams. Their visit caused no damage to the Mato Grosso state legislature, and I don't know why they're not like fenced off. Right? They just go through the fences, I suppose. Anyway, there's your story. Hopefully you have a limerick. I'm not going to hold you writing a limerick for that really short story. It's just the luck of the spin, you know.
A capybara so bold and aware strolled right into the lawmaker's lair. With a twitch of its nose, it disturbed all their prose. Yet it lounged without a worry or care.
Hi.
Capybaras famously do not give a shit about anything.
What goes on in their heads, right? What's going on in there?
Someone says they're adorable and she wants one. I feel like, yeah, one of those exotic animals, you know, you have as a pet.
Yeah, we must domesticate this thing. We must. Okay.
It does seem, sometimes it does seem like the only way we can, save an animal is to domesticate it.
Yeah.
We can't just leave them alone. We have to make it into a pet. Not saying that's what Almond wants as a pet. Alliteration headline for you now. For my culture segment.
Want to put funny hats. I want to put funny hats on. Alliteration headline.
We probably can do that now without having to domesticate them, to be fair. Where are my news stories? Not here. I've lost them. One of these windows is where they are. Oh, here they are. Alright, my culture segment. Why is the internet accusing Anna Hathaway of wearing a fake pregnancy belly? Why would she do that? This is from David Moorquand on Euronews Culture. Everyone's talking about how Tom Holland and Zendaya are having a great year, but let's not forget that Anne Hathaway is making her mark on 26. The 43-year-old Oscar-winning actress has been one of the most bankable stars of this year, with roles in The Devil Wears Prada 2 and The Odyssey, and also starred in one of Euronews' favorite films of the year so far, Mother Mary. Now she's on press tour duties for her latest role in David Robert Mitchell's The End of Oak Street, a sci-fi survival film produced by J.J. Abrams, and therefore rumored to be part of his Cloverfield anthology universe. As if it wasn't enough to celebrate, Hathaway is currently pregnant with her third child. But because no one can have nice things, the internet went and made it weird. And by weird we mean idiotic, proving once again that deeply missed author Umberto Eco was right when he said that the tragedy of the internet is that it has promoted the village idiot to the level of the bear of truth. And a loud one at that. Hathaway attended the world premiere of The End of Oak Street at the Stephen J. Ross Theater in Burbank in California, wearing a custom look by Atelier Prabal Jurung, consisting of low-rise jeans and a stylish crop top, which showed off her baby bump. As per usual, Hathaway looked radiant, but certain social media users decided it was time to disprove Darwinism by accusing the actress of not only looking bizarre and tacky, but wearing a fake pregnancy belly. Following a viral post on Twitter, where else, from an account titled 21, maybe indicating how old they are, commenters pointed out that there was something off with Hathaway's stomach. Probably because they've never seen a pregnant person's belly in their life, let alone touched a woman. Looks like a fake stomach. The belly button looks unreal. Fun fact, belly buttons get deformed when you get pregnant. One person commented. Another posted that it looked like a prosthetic bump, while other users chimed in by writing, "As someone who has kids, her belly looks like those fake ones they use in movies." This is what they all sound like in real life, by the way. Charming and not at all unwarranted. The conspiracy theory went so viral that Hathaway was forced to respond, bringing classiness and humor to a pigsty. She posted a video from the evening on Instagram titled, "Fake hair, real bump." Sadly, but somewhat predictably, that wasn't the end of it. As if it wasn't distasteful enough to body shame and pass judgment on a pregnant woman's body, some commentators started blaming Hathaway's stylist for the apparently unflattering wardrobe malfunction. Unflattering styling for a beautiful pregnant woman, one wannabe fashionista wrote, while another commented, "Pregnancy is beautiful, but this is a stylist fail." I mean, that's what Amlin just said. You wouldn't wear it. Amlin's like, I wouldn't wear this, but she's a celebrity. Celebrity wear weird things, in my opinion. Now, to each their own, but when it comes to style and thoughts on low-rise jeans, well, there are some crucial elements to take into consideration. Firstly, why is this such a big deal? Secondly, no two pregnancy bumps are identical. Grow up. Thirdly, when you're carrying the weight of a person inside you, you should be able to wear whatever makes you happy and comfortable without the fear of either judgment or baseless theories accusing you of faking your pregnancy. Like Demi Moore posing for Annie Leibovitz on Vanity Fair in 1991, and Rihanna proudly revealing her pregnancy during the Super Bowl halftime show in 23.
Naked as a jaybird.
Her physical transformation and is choosing to celebrate it by not treating it as unglamorous or weird, as certain folk on social media choose to label it. The reaction smacks of still ingrained stigma when it comes to maternity and women's changing bodies. Then there's the wider context to think about. Anne Hathaway is married to an actor, Adam Schulman, before having her first 2 children in 2016 and 2019. She experienced a miscarriage in 2015. Worse, she suffered a miscarriage while starring in the one-woman play Grounded, in which she had to act out childbirth every night. Hathaway has been open about this and recently spoke to late-night host Seth Meyers about how shocked she was to have gotten pregnant so easily given her age and after fertility challenges. Announcing her second pregnancy in 2018, she also shared the challenges of conception. For everyone going through infertility and conception hell, please know that it was not a straight line to either of my pregnancies. Sending you extra love. While it may still be too much to ask for chronically online to embrace body positivity for all, maybe they could redirect all the energy towards more meaningful matters, or stop depraving the village of their idiot. Anne Hathaway stars in The End of Oak Street, which is out this week, and has Ian McGregor in as well. Not that he's pregnant. He doesn't have to worry about being accused of having a fake pregnancy belly anytime soon. But, yep, that's my story. I hope you have an alliteration for that.
I think it's hilarious when people are offended by naked pregnant women as if they got here some other way.
Mm-hmm. Like village idiots.
I'm offended by everything human. No, the headline should read Internet Incels Incredibly Ignorant. That's all it is. It's little boys who are afraid of girls, and that's all it is. Or
you can't even...
women are women with real serious body image problems on their own. Nothing to do with Anne Hathaway. As far as I know, Anne Hathaway is very skinny. In spite of the fact that she was married to William Shakespeare back in the 1500s, she's still very skinny. And I think a pregnant woman who's already kind of slim and that bump shows up makes them look a little bit weird. And morons who have never seen a pregnant woman before go, "Oh my God, what's that?" That's all this is. Morons. Just morons. That's all there is on the internet, by the way. You look at any message board, 90% of it is morons. And one or two intelligent people, all intelligent people have just moved on with their lives. They're just going, fuck these idiots. I'm done trying to educate these fuckers. They're stupid as hell. You can't make stupid people learn. It's impossible. They've gone to the place where learning is not going to reach them. They're just going to stay stupid forever. The old saying, you can't fix stupid, is very true. You can't fix it. It's just not possible. It's not possible. These people will say one thing one day, they'll say the opposite the next day because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You fool!
Also, I never take. I always assume that people who are like, I'm a woman too, and they're lying. Right?
I assume
when it comes to the internet, whenever somebody says, I'm this thing too, and mine doesn't do that thing, I'm like, you're not actually any of those things, you're lying.
This is why catfishing exists, because people want to just
catfish
anybody. Catfish everybody. Assume everybody's a 12-year-old boy who has never seen anything in his life. You just basically, oh my God, I've been sheltered, and I'm going to attack the world for sheltering me because I don't know anything. And you look at him and go, you can't be an actual living, breathing adult with that opinion. Because if you were next to me, I would punch you in the face. Because that is ridiculous.
That's the problem. They can't get punched in the face, so they say stupid stuff like this.
Yeah, they get away with it. But it works both ways. You can threaten them too. It's like, hey, I'm going to come over here and beat your face in. And they go, oh! And then they disappear.
All right, our next segue is hypothetical for this day in history.
Hypothetical. I sent you 2 videos. Use the second one.
Okay.
Because the second one is actually the video that I was looking for, but it didn't come up for me earlier because my computer was doing maintenance on its own. So here's this day in history for everybody. On this day in history, as we
tie off this weird day.
Yeah, I was looking up the Demi Moore, what was it, Vanity Fair cover? That was a big controversy, too. How dare she pose naked and pregnant? I'm like, yeah, don't buy the magazine. What the fuck's your problem? I mean, seriously. That shouldn't be on newsstands. You mean next to the Playboys? Yeah, they got Playboys on the newsstand. Why can't they have that? People are weird. People are fucking weird, I swear to God. They think they got here from some magic ship from outer space.
Remember, this is just after. This is just after breastfeeding awareness week. You know, the first week of August.
Oh, yeah,
another weird thing people
be
get
ashamed
freaked
of
out
your
over.
body.
Yeah.
Here's a guy we were talking about earlier this week, Cecil B. DeMille's birthday. American filmmaker Cecil B. DeMille, who is a cinema legend known for using spectacle in such movies as The Ten Commandments in 1956. He was born in Asheville, Massachusetts. And as Gene Wilder said in Blazing Saddles, I must have killed more people than Cecil B. DeMille. Now you know who he is. 1887
Yay.
Austrian. Yeah, and if you ever saw the Ten Commandments, that overblown movie with Charlton Heston, that's like 8 hours long. 1887, Austrian theoretical physicist Edward Schrödinger was born. Yes, happy birthday. He shared the 1933 Nobel Prize for Physics for his contributions to the wave theory of matter and to other fundamentals of quantum mechanics. He was born in Vienna on this day. Vienna has a lot of famous citizens, right? You know, Vienna is one of them places where all the smart people congregated to, I suppose. 1961, the East German state began constructing the Berlin Wall. That was a stupid thing, which eventually surrounded West Berlin. Yes, you people love it here in East Berlin. That's why we got to put up a wall. Preventing access to it from East Berlin and the rest of East Germany. It was served as a potent symbol for the Cold War until it was opened in 1989. We've been there. The Brandenburg Gate, for instance, one of your more famous entrances to East and West Germany. And here's a actual video that showed a picture of it coming down. Which is the only right thing that happened in this whole situation was that wall coming down. 1966, during a press conference, John Lennon of the Beatles apologized for saying that his band was more popular than Jesus. Now the comment has sparked protests and burnings. And once again, saying the truth pisses people off. We're more popular than Jesus. It wasn't a boast. It was saying, hey, you idiots, maybe you get your priorities straight. But again, well, Jesus has been bastardized by all the Christians in the world to become this symbol of hatred. So whatever. 1970, the Paris Saint-Germain or Saint-Germain men's team was founded through the merger of football clubs in Paris, PC, and Stade Saint-Germain. Okay, big day in soccer/football. 1990, the most complete and best preserved skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus Rex was found in South Dakota's Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation. It was nicknamed Sioux after Susan Hendrickson, the paleontologist who discovered the dinosaur fossil. Yes, Sue, you're a big old dinosaur now. 2014, Lauren Bacall died at the age of 89, who was known for her portrayals of provocative women who hid their soft core underneath a layer of hard-edged pragmatism. Yeah, Lauren Bacall, known for that smoky voice, that smoky, deep voice. Also, for a long time affair with Humphrey Bogart. We had it all, just like Bogey and Bacall, as the song says, in Key Largo. That was the name of the movie, Key Largo. 1415, Zheng He's treasure fleet returns. And this day in 1415, this is our featured thing. In 1450, large wooden ships ever built. The largest wooden ships ever built brought home a remarkable prize for the Emperor of Imperial China's Ming Dynasty. Admiral Zheng Hu's so-called treasure fleet returned for his fourth expedition, avoiding lasting a year and a half that reached as far as the Persian Gulf in the Maldives. Wherever Zheng traveled, he cultivated alliances, bringing gifts that included silk, porcelain, tea, clothing, and luxury goods. On this expedition, he also returned with a special tribute, a giraffe. That's right, a big, gigantic, tall horse. What the fuck is that thing? It's a giraffe. Ride it. On this day, the phonograph. Yes, today is National Vinyl Day. The phonograph was invented by Thomas Alva Edison and probably invented by one of his technicians. But again, he was an inventor, so let's give him credit. He's the one that started the lab. On this day in 1877, American inventor Thomas Alva Edison made perhaps his most original discovery, the phonograph. And his early recordings were indentations embossed into a sheet of tinfoil by a vibrating stylus. Yes, he discovered that sound frequency can be duplicated. That's a big damn deal, I think, right? William Blake's birthday, English poet, painter William Blake, who died in 1827. Oh, it's not his birthday. This is the day he died. Created a hand-illustrated series of lyric and epic poems that form one of the most strikingly original bodies of work in Western cultural tradition. Hand-illustrated. One of them flip books, maybe? I don't know. No, probably not. National Day calendar. Oh, other birthdays, other famous birthdays. It's I'm going to look for people. Olympic rugby player Ione Meyer, born in 1996. I don't know what that is, but whatever. Actor Leah Pipes, born in 1988, turning 38. Casey Affleck, the younger brother of Ben, or might even be older brother. I think it's the younger brother. Ben Affleck, turning 51. He's a pretty good actor. I like it. A lot of his movies are really good. Comedian Michael Ian Black, turning 55. Actor Yvette Nicole Brown, turning 55. Pete Sampras, International Tennis Hall of Famer, winner of many Grand Slams, turning 55. Probably the last great American tennis player, male American tennis player, I should say. We're looking for another one. Male tennis in America is just taking a big old dump since probably, I don't know, last 20 years. You had Nadal and all them dominating. Actor Rebecca Gayheart, turning 55. Actor Brent Sexton, turning 59. Sir Mix-a-Lot. I like big butts and I cannot lie. Sir Mix-a-Lot, turning 63. Musician Roy Hay. Roy Hay of the Culture Club, turning 61. Actor Bruce Greenwood, turning 70. Writer Ann Martin, turning 71. Actor Jim Beaver, turning 76. Musician Mark Knopfler, guitar player for Dire Straits. Oh yeah, money for nothing and your chicks for free. Well, he's turning 77 today. The Sultan of Swing. Actor Dana Ivey, turning 85. Actor George Hamilton, the tan guy who married Elizabeth Taylor, and I think it was Elizabeth Taylor's last wife, I think. Last husband, wife, whatever he was. Anyway, George Hamilton, turning 87. Writer William Golden, turning 31. George Hamilton, business and activist George Soros, turning 96. The guy who every liberal in America is accused of taking money from, and with absolutely no evidence. That protest was set up by George Soros. They paid all those protesters. And I'm like, okay, so we'll get your check and show up for the protest. Or don't show up. They can't prove you showed up or not. Take the check and go home, if that's a thing. No, that's not even a thing. George Soros, the famous boogeyman for all of the right wing for 30, 40 years. Ever since he appeared on 60 Minutes one time. I said, oh my God, he's a liberal and he has money, attack him. Whatever. Also survived the Holocaust, by the way. So stop attacking George Soros. Guinness World of Records founders Norris and Ross McWhorter, if you're wondering who started that crap named after a beer company, it was those two guys. They were both born on this day in 1925. They are twins. Yes, sir. They are the Guinness World of Records. I think they're both gone now. They'd be 101 today. Actor, filmmaker Cantinflas was born in 1911. And we already covered Schrodinger. We covered Cecil B. DeMille. Catherine Lee Bates, not Kathy Bates, the actress, but educator, poet, born in 1859, and artist Abbott Thayer, born in 1849. 1849, where Catherine Lee Bates, 1859. I might have said that wrong. National Day calendar. It's National Middle Child Day, National Vinyl Record Day. We deciphered We deciphered that the National Vinyl Record Day is because Edison was given credit for inventing the phonograph on this day, long damn time ago. National Julienne Fries Day. Yeah, Julienne fries. They're them long skinny ones that curl. Yeah, they're basically they're
what
real
people
skinny.
call French fries.
Yeah, the French fries. But Julienne fries are even narrower than regular like chips. Like you don't confuse Juliennes with chips. Your British chips.
Well, chips
French
are
fries.
Belgian fries.
Yeah, chips are like steak fries, what we call steak fries in America.
Yeah. And we call those Belgian fries here. So yeah, there you go.
Although steak fries tend to have the skin still on them. But anyway, there's your 3 things. That's all it was for today. Your birthdays or horrible internet connections today. Everything. Limericks, haikus. We had it all. And we got a hypothetical coming up for Wednesday, August 12th, 2026. Heck, there's no food today. What the heck? No food. So eat your vinyl record. No, Julienne fries. Julienne fries. On before Julienne fries. How'd I already forget that? Yeah, okay. On before Julienne fries. That's because of the technical difficulties got me thinking about other things. That's why.
Yes, so typically, I guess it is so typically colonial European to say it's a French fry, it's a Belgian fry when potatoes come from the United States.
Yeah.
Or America, I should say. Just the American continents in general, that's where they discovered potatoes. But somehow it became a European vegetable. It's not even a vegetable. Hypothetically, if they never they never colonized America, we wouldn't have fries. There you go. These are hypothetical.
Yeah. We would not have French fries. We would not have.
What would we be eating instead? Turnips, supposedly.
Yes.
People eat a lot of turnips.
I
fries.
ate some turnips the other day.
Potatoes.
Turnips, because turnips you also eat the greens, which I do. I harvest turnip and the greens. I did the same thing with beets yesterday. I picked 2 beets and I cleaned off the greens. Right, the
Did the
greens
beet go
are
something
just
like
low.
this?
No,
Joke.
Not that kind of beet. The B-E-E-T.
Picked up a beet. He picked a beet out of his garden.
But I also ate the greens. I have to cook the greens, but in order to cook the greens, you got to clean them off, man. They are loaded with insects. Like you got little crawlies all over them, little eggs. No, legitimate eggs, like big packs of eggs that you got to spray off.
That's usually
spider mites are might be them little white. I think it's some little white moths that lay those eggs, and they leave these little the little larvae. They eat the leaves when they hatch, and they fly off, and they become moths. But while they're on the leaf, they're eating it, and that's where the little holes are. So I had to blast all them off with water, right, and then clean all the dirt off. I must have blasted them 5 times. And they're big. They're big leaves, and then I cooked them as greens. And I still haven't eaten beets, but I ate the greens. Your mom ate them too. Anywho, that's my dumb little story.
There's your story. It is also International Youth Day, so let's celebrate from the UN, International Youth. Young people are already leading the way as organizers and innovators. But to go further, they need to access the skills that will shape the future, from critical thinking and problem solving to digital literacy. Because sadly, our digital literacy and literacy in general has actually gone down. Because things like Claude and ChatGPT, what I need to think, it'll just tell me what to think. I've seen so many people reply to an argument by saying, well, ChatGPT says I'm right. I put this argument to ChatGPT and it said I was right. I'm like, that's not how you have an argument. You don't ask the AI who was correct in the argument. That's not how arguments work. But anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the future ready skills for you.
Works, right? That guy there says I'm right is not any way to win an argument. That's not.
Change is not coming. It's already here. So we need to increase our digital literacy. Human-centric competencies like critical thinking, empathy, and resilience are vital for our youth to survive the upcoming future.
No doubt.
So increase our global solidarity, our shared challenges, and our innovation in youth. For International Youth Day. Okay, there's all of my UN observances today. This has been Alison here from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the US. As we finish off another wacky and weird Wednesday, I hope you're excited to have your 8 to 12 year living capybara. And we will see you tomorrow for our Thursdays 13, in which we have a list of 13 things that we're going to discuss, argue, and talk about. So make sure you're subscribed on Before Coffee Podcast or following on Before Coffee Podcast on Twitch so that you know when we go live and post a video. Thank you to everyone on Patreon who's already supporting the channel with your money, your cash money. And we will see you tomorrow for that. Here is our giant rodent mic drop moment.
There it is. Not a whole lot of audio with it.
I can see why you related them to horses, because they kind of do have hooves, you know?
Pra
Yeah, they got sort of, kind of.
Não pode.
And they have those hind legs, you know?
They're the little webbed feet, like, right? Because they're aquatic.
They can swim. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely not horse-like. They're more like you said, they're like these. I would say beaver-like more than anything, except for the short teeth.
Yeah, well, they're probably related to beavers. I don't know. I think they do have sharp teeth, just like rats. You just can't see them.
Okay.
You need to see a capybara. You need to see a capybara absolutely destroy a pumpkin or something. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, right.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.